Gap tolerances. Sometimes when we want to hatch, we'll have to hatch areas like this that aren't actually closed objects. For a reminder, let's come over here and create a closed object, activate hatch, and click inside that point. As you can see, the scaling isn't just right, so I'll go ahead and increase that a bit. We'll try a 10, tab, and there you go. Now we have a hatch that we can see. But what if we have to hatch this area over here, or this one, or even this one to indicate separate rooms, or maybe the type of floor that the room has? Well, since we have no closed lines, that makes it very difficult. I'll go ahead and close this. One thing we can do is, I'll pan over to the side, zoom in, we can add a line from this point to this point here, deselect, and then continue hatching the area like normal. But that can sometimes be inconvenient. Let's see what else we can do. I'll go ahead and delete that, select this line, and delete that as well. Let's go ahead and reactivate the hatch command and check out some of its options. An option that you can't necessarily see because it's sort of hidden is under options and gap tolerance. This specifies the maximum size of gaps to be bridged between geometric objects. So let's go ahead and try and see what this does. I'll put a 5, tab over just to accept the value, and continue hatching like normal. If I select this object, I get a warning. It says hatch, open boundary warning. I can continue hatching, or I can not hatch this area at all. I'm going to continue hatching. And there you go. AutoCAD went ahead and hatched it for me, even though it wasn't a closed boundary. Let's go ahead and try again. Pan over to the side, and I want to hatch this area here. I'll go ahead and click a point that's internal, and again, I get another warning. I'll go ahead and continue hatching this area, and there it is. Now, and if you want to ignore that annoying pop-up, let's try one more time. We get the pop-up, and this checkbox down here that says always perform my current choice. If you check this, go ahead and continue hatching this area, you shouldn't get that pop-up again. I'll go ahead and accept this for my hatching. I'll select the hatching and delete it. Let's hatch it one more time. I'll go to hatch, I'll select an internal point, and there you go. I'm hatching with ease. No pop-ups and no lines needed. If I click in this area here, again, hatch, boundary definition error. A closed boundary could not be determined. I'll go ahead and hit close. Now, when I try and hatch this area here, the gap tolerance wasn't adjusted correctly. So AutoCAD could not correctly close this gap for me. All I would have to do is come to the options and adjust the gap tolerance as needed. If you want to take the long route, you could always select the line tool or any other object that you need and go ahead and close the path and then hatch inside the island. But if you want to take a shortcut and you know the tolerances that you can use so that way it wouldn't conflict later with your hatching, you can go ahead and adjust that in your gap tolerances and then add the hatching to each individual area.